Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Boris Ping Toys pre-assembly kits. Alright, so let's look at the packaging for the Boris Ping Toys AK-18 pre-assembly kits for the 1/18 scale action figure. So, from what I understand, a friend on YouTube, or excuse me, on Instagram, let me know that Boris Ping is a customizer. I went to his Instagram and now I follow him. He doesn't say much on his Instagram. In fact, he doesn't really say anything, but there are pictures of his work in progress and some of the custom figures that he's put together. And basically, I think these are his customs. I think that's how it was explained to me. They are, I think, supposed to be sort of like generic characters that we kind of know. Like, I've heard that this might be like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. I think one of these girls, I think maybe this one is supposed to be maybe the girl from Resident Evil. I really don't know. I don't know too much about those franchises, but that's kind of what I think I heard. The packaging isn't much to look at. This one actually has an image of the character in the background. These two do not. It is collector-friendly packaging, which is nice, a lot like Boss Fight Studio and Eagle Force. It is taped right now, but you could slide this out and, take the figure out. When you're done, you can put it back in. What I found most interesting about this packaging is actually what it says here. But right before we go to that, you could see here it does have 6 figures and one of it's a question mark. And I can't tell because I don't see a number or anywhere on here. If it's saying that, we only have 3 and there's 6 here, are we going to get 3 more? Because this one looks completely different. Or is it saying that with these 3 or this one, there's these different combinations that you can create? It might be a little bit of both. And here's some of his social media here if you're interested, at Boris Ping. But what's the most interesting is what it says here. And without reading the whole thing to you, it's basically saying that this is a kit that you can use to make your own characters, specifically to work with other lines. And I think that's great. I can't think of a line of figures that makes their stuff to purposefully to work with other lines. I do think it's there is a small limitation though. Now, customizers, and I am a customizer, I'm mostly a kit bash customizer, so this is right up my alley. I don't like to paint or Dremel if I don't have to. We already kit bash. If a Joy Toy vest or holster works on a vintage collection figure, then we do it. Whatever we want, we do. But it's great that this line was made purposefully to do that. The limitation I see though is the Hiya Toys and the Joy Toys tend to use a ball hinged wrist. These wrists are pegs. Boss Fight Studio, Star Wars The Vintage Collection, they use the peg. So there are some pieces on here that aren't, just like any kit bash, that aren't going to necessarily work on all of them. He's chosen to use the peg. I actually prefer the peg over the ball joint. Seems to be more durable, especially when taking it in and out. I have less breakage when I do that, or when I use this rather than the ball joint that Hiya and Joy Toy use. But of course, the weapons, the accessories, as long as they're 1/18, they really do kind of go across. You can cross pollinate, so to speak. But I think it's a really unique idea. It's really cool. I like that. I mean, we're gonna do it anyways, right? But this one is specifically saying, hey, we made this just for you guys to custom. So great idea. Packaging's okay. It's not the greatest or anything, but it's nice that it's collector friendly. Fairly plain, but the figures look pretty good. As far as I know, these are the only 3 right now. They're fairly inexpensive. I think I picked these up on Locker Toys. It was really cool that you pre-ordered them, and I think like 7 or 8 days later, they were like, okay, they're shipping. Usually pre-orders are months or weeks out, sometimes even longer. So it was really cool that these came right away. But that's enough about the packaging. I think that's enough about Boris Ping. If you're curious, you can go look him up. It looks like he has lots of social media. But let's get these ladies open. All right, so here are the Boris Ping figures out of package, and I kind of just lined them up with their accessories here. They do have quite a bit of items, but a lot of similar stuff and a few different items. I should note though, it did come with a little piece of paper. On one side it was in Chinese, on one side it was in English, and it did suggest to warm these figures up if you feel any kind of tension or anything at all. So I went ahead and did it. I felt that they were actually fine except for their elbows. They do have double hinged elbows, and I think all of them but one elbow on one girl, I think this girl, was fine, but the other two felt stiff. So I just went ahead and heated them, all three of them, up at the same time using warm water. All right, so they are very similar, but yet they're have some differences. I think this one's actually my favorite one. She did have what, and I fixed it, but in the pictures and some of the other reviews that I saw, it looks like, the gap, there's a gap between the boots. You can just see it there, some flesh tone between the boot and the, what do you call that? The shaft of the boot and the ankle. But this is a separate piece, and you really have to see if you can hear it. I'm not sure if you heard that, but you do have to kind of pull that down in order to hide that exposed flesh tone there. You can see I pulled it down as hard as I could. It can be pushed down a little bit more to hide that. I thought about just using a acrylic brown pen to just kind of hide that, but then I realized this is a separate piece, so this whole thing will come off if you want. But then that would look even stranger. But I think I like this one the best, especially now that I fixed that. You can see there, it's just barely showing. And I think you could really just, if you really try hard, there it moved again. You can see that you can just cover that up. Of course, if you give her that flex, it will expose it. But otherwise, it's easy to hide. And I think I like this outfit the best. It's got the backpack. The hairline's a little bit weird. These figures, it's hard to, I don't want to oversell them, but I also don't want to devalue them. And they're nice, and I could feel right away they don't feel quite of the quality of, say, a Joy Toy figure. But they don't feel, cheap. And you've got a lot of articulation and a lot of accessories. But these are not the cost of Joy Toy, or, Toys Alliance or anything. I think I got these for $25 a piece, Locker Toys, which is, I think, what they're still for sale now on Locker Toys for $25 a piece with free shipping. And if you have points with Locker Toys, you can even get, more of a discount. But they're very good. They're not quite the quality of Joy Toy, but they're not bad by any means. They do have really good articulation. You've got a ball jointed head that gets a lot of play. A ball hinged shoulder, bicep swivel, double hinged elbows, and a swivel wrist on a peg, which allows you to swap it out. She does have a ball hinge diaphragm there below the belly button. I think, no, actually it feels like it's under the breast there. It's hard to tell with this shirt. There it is. Yeah, you can see it much better. So yeah, it's a diaphragm ball joint. These all have the same articulation. These ones though, These two girls with the boots don't have the toe articulation that this girl has with the boot. She does have toe articulation. So she's got the added 2 extra points. They are ball hinged hips, double hinged knee, and then a rocker ankle that they all have, but she has the toes. So I think this one is probably, in my opinion, she has the toe articulation, which, you know, some people don't care for. I could go either way, but I like this getup, this outfit the best. I think her face is probably the prettiest out of the 3. Does look like it's a little bit of a different face. That hairdo really does change a lot. Really does change a lot when you look at them. I noticed this one, the head is extremely loose. And you know, you get to swap the hair. It's fairly easy, you know, this pop and swap kind of a thing. Just got to kind of figure out which way it goes. This one gives her a bit of a big forehead. Not sure I got that quite on the right way. There is a, let's see, she has a hole there. Let's see if I can bring this light up for you. There's a slight, there it is. You can just see it right there. Indent that you have to line up. And it seems to go like that. But it gives this one, it gives her a little bit of a bigger forehead. You still see it's still wet when I pop the head off there. There's still some water in there. But yeah, I'm not really into this hairdo, the 2 for this one. I do like her body though, you know, the sweater around the waist, the mini skirt. She did have some cooler accessories. She has the gun holster, shoulder holster, which is a little bit different. This one doesn't have the gun holster. It's a backpack. These 2 come with typewriters. These 2 essentially almost have the same exact stuff. Different hairdos. This one comes with the revolver. These 2 come with the semi-automatic pistol. Got some nice silver on it. These 2 have the knives and a flashlight. Very small items. Nowhere to holster these knife and flashlight though. This one did come with the thigh holster, these 2, for that pistol. Even though it's a different gun, it looks like it's the same holster. Molotov cocktail, grenade, frying pan for this one. Looks like cast iron stove pan. These 2 have a typewriter. I'm not sure the significance of that. And this one has a helmet that's actually 2 pieces. It does have a chin strap. I found that the visor keeps popping off though. This is a very soft plastic. I think it's meant to go on the head without the hair. It does have this visor that's on a hinge. And the visor is much more sturdier plastic. So it doesn't quite want to stay on. I think it would if it was on the head. But I don't think I'm going to use a lot of this stuff. You know, the hands here, they're all the same. We come with 2 fists, 2 peace signs, and 2 middle fingers. They're all the same. I'm glad that they came with the holding hands, the grip holding hands. I'll probably leave them this way. I don't see a time when I'll use the other hands. It's, I guess, important to note too that these hands all are gloved. You know, the other hands are bare. This one did not come with the extra hair, but she has the helmet. These other 2 came with extra hair. Let's just swap this one out. I think that looks much better. There is the holster here on her shoulder for that knife. Let's throw that in there. That one did not have a holster for the knife. Oh yeah, it fit right in. There you go. Yeah, so this one This one, it has the holster for the gun, but it is just for show and nowhere to put the knife. The gun won't actually go into there. This is a molded solid. But I like this hairdo much, much better. You know, overall, they're good figures. Scale-wise, let's do a little size comparison. I definitely think these two are the stronger of the three. This one in the middle being my favorite. But I like them, you know, they're 25 bucks. So, you know, 118 now, this is sort of where we're at. You know, if for a premium articulated figure, this is sort of where we're at. Here's a Epic Heroes Mantis, which is a 375 figure. These are 118, so they are 4-inch. But you can see they're right in line. This is a Mattel, what is it, Jurassic World Dominion figure. I don't know the girl's name, but you can see she's also 375. So these are 375. See if I can get that hair back on. It looked kind of silly how it was. But there it goes. Just don't really care for this hairdo. So I'm not sure what I'll do with her. But these are 375 female figures, and here is a E11 Acid Rain World 118 figure. So she's more to scale, or supposed to be, with these girls. And you can see she is, or they are, compared to this 118 figure. And then we'll just put in a Star Wars Vintage Collection Stormtrooper. You can see this 375. And here's a Joy Toy Gregson figure. And you can see he is 118, and so are they. So they're a good real 118. They're not 375. They come with a lot of accessories. It's always nice to get some dynamic articulated female figures. I think I probably could have passed on this one. This is, I still think, the best one, and this one's a close second. I think in the pictures and some of the other people that have done the reviews, they have not pushed, you know, this piece of the boot down, so it just looks really weird having that exposed piece there and not knowing. Oh, you can see it pull. I can keep pulling down and see it's really tight, so I'm not sure that if that's gonna ride back up. But once it's on there right, I think it looks just fine. And if you get her in a pretty good pose, I don't know if that's gonna show up. You know, I think it just depends on how you pose her. But I do think, you know, I warmed her up, and I don't know. I felt like the joints were fine except for the elbows. If I loosened, you know, that they were loosened up too much. And maybe they'll go back to what they were doing. You know, I do like these outfits though. You know, she's got like some Daisy Duke boots on, and you can see their butts. You know, they're sculpted really well. Very feminine, very attractive. You know, I guess, like, you know, if this is based on Angelina Jolie or the character from the video game or whatever, very, very nice figure. No, you know, these are gripping hands. It does have a trigger finger that's exposed though, and I guess you could try to bend that into the trigger, but it's not, doesn't necessarily, no, it's attached, so no trigger finger. It looks like it is, and there's a bit of a separation there, so no trigger finger. But she holds the gun well, but she can't put her finger through that trigger. So overall, pretty good figures, guys. I think these two are the best. I probably, you know, if I could do it over again, I probably would have only got this one or these two and saved my money on that one. But she's okay. She's not bad. You get a lot of accessories. Let's just do really quick. Let's pull out this E11 hand, because that is, you know, the pin. This is the modularity that they're kind of talking about. And let's throw in this hand and see if it actually fits. Boom, and it did. So there you go, guys. It works just as they intended, and I think the skin tone is pretty good matching. So this is an option, you know, and this is what the figures were made for. Although that hinge is shorter, it does fit just fine. And so this is going to be, you know, these hands are going to be swappable with your Toys Alliance figures. I believe the Vintage Collection also uses that same hinge, or same, peg with hinge. Obviously the guns will work with any 118. This thigh strap, I wonder if that will fit on here too. Oh, I got it upside down. It would be that way. See, that just slides right up. E11's thighs are a little bit thicker. She's a little bit of a thicker girl. But yeah, look at that. It fit right on. So, well, it doesn't go quite as high. It probably will stretch out if I pushed it up any farther. But that would keep it in place. I'm probably going to use it on her, so I don't want to stretch it out. But yeah, it looks like these parts fit just fine on other figures. As long as they have that peg, it looks like they're going to be just fine. Let's throw this on the E11. That's a little big. It's a little big. Chin strap there. Nah, I don't know. That looks all right. That looks all right. So yeah, I think as a customizer, you're gonna get a lot of, you know, fun out of this, and just having this one, if you just wanted to strip her down, I'm assuming that you know, this skirt will probably come off. I know yep, it does. It just comes right off. I wonder if she'll separate here at the waist. Try not to break her, but she didn't want to pop off that easy right there. But yeah, it looks like it's just a ball hinge. It looks like the same sort of ball hinge that Boss Fight Studio uses. And that was the other line. The Boss Fight Studio also used the peg. So these will probably fit just fine in Boss Fight Studios as well. So there is some operability, modularity with these figures, which might make it worth it just to get them to strip down. But otherwise, I think this figure, wow, I can see something in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like there's metal inside of those knees. So that is connected. There's actually metal. I think that's picking up on the camera there, to secure those joints. So that's nice. I don't feel any weight, you know, that there's metal in there. It's just a small pin. But yeah, I like them. I like them. I think they're pretty good. It'd be interesting to see what else they come up with. It's interesting that they came out right away with 3 females, no males. So we'll see if what they do next. But I think I can recommend these figures. But I would say this one or that one over this one. But if you want to just, you know, get one of these to just completely take apart, and this would be the one I think you would do it to. Not really care for her hair in the outfit. You know, it's okay. It's not bad. All right, guys, I'm going to just take a few photos with these, not too many, and wrap this video up. I went on a little bit long, but I hope it was enjoyable and, you know, swayed you one way or the other to pick these up or not. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you're going to grab one of these or none of these. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.